So there's a lot of stuff going around right now. Trying to make the editing a little easier.
Yeah, you're editing. This is for you, man.
There's a lot of stuff happening at the moment. We concluded chapter 5 last time. And we're in a garbage pit. Let's get into it. The ultimate despair. A group of people who caused the tragedy 1 year ago. Those same people put together this killing game and began broadcasting it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has finally been revealed. But right now?
Anyway. Right now we have to get out of this horrible place. Figure out the rest of the story when the time has come. Figure out the rest of the story can come after.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, well, I'm assuming I have to talk to you again. Kyoko, do you still have that one thing? Monokuma's secret tool that you got from the headmaster's room?
Indeed.
Of course I do. It's the absolute vital part of ensnaring the mastermind. I would never part with it.
And it can open any door in the school, right?
That's right.
Then we should be able to use it on that door, right? Okay, I'm just gonna pick that door real quick. Hey, Kyoko, we can use that key of yours to open this door, right?
It's true.
Let's find out.
Kyoko took out the key with Monokuma design on it and slid into the keyhole. And then... Nice. It opened! Yes!
Indeed.
And now we can get out of here. Let's go.
Sounds good. We quickly opened the door and made our escape from the garbage pit. Finally. We were finally free. But there wasn't even time to take a breath of relief, because the real fight had just begun. Ultimate pain, ultimate suffering, ultimate despair, ultimate execution. Danganronpa, ultimate death. After leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel extending straight up like a chimney. There was a metal ladder leading up into the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface. Thank you, anime. The ladder was impossibly long. I couldn't even see where it ended. We climbed into darkness. The passage was so dark and cramped I couldn't even see my own feet beneath me. I had no idea we were so far down.
Hey.
Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you.
Yeah, I'll be careful. But now that you said that, I'm getting kind of nervous. Maybe talking will help keep my mind off it. So Kyoko, there's something that I wanted to ask you. You said you're the ultimate detective, right? So how long have you been doing detective work?
How long?
So...
Ever since I can remember. I come from a long line of detectives. Detective work is in my blood. There was a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family was always seen it that way.
Then, is your family famous?
Wrong.
Quite the opposite, actually. Even amongst actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us.
Huh? But how come? It's like your family tradition, right? So...
Right.
Because we take pride in it.
Pride?
Indeed.
A detective is neither light nor shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That's how we can uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things, and to do that, we have to stand separate from the rest of society. Which is why we made a conscious effort to conceal our existence.
A conscious effort?
It's true.
It's kind of old-fashioned. I can't say it's entirely rational. But it's our family creed, and we must we do what we must to protect it. Because, like I said, it's our source of pride.
Pride. So that explains. Before I came here, when was that's not correct. Before I came here, when was looking up info about the school online, I never saw anything about her. Before she hit herself on purpose to protect the pride of her family.
However,
And yet, I gave up on that pride.
Huh?
In order to enter Host Week, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing that there was something a true Kirigiri detective would never do.
But the reason you gave up that pride, the reason you would go so far to enter Hope's Peak, it was because that's how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that.
what?
Reconnect? I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father.
What? But you'd be reuniting after all those years, right? You would have had so much to talk about.
Wrong.
There's nothing I want to talk about my father
However,
to my father about. There is something I want to say to him though.
What?
No matter what it takes, I have to finally tell him face to face.
What is it?
So,
I will never sever ties with him.
Quite the opposite.
I want to sever all ties with him.
Sever?
Last time I saw him, I was still very young. I don't remember myself, but apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the next head of the Kirigiri family. He was talented and had a promising future,
however,
but he had no interest in detective work. So he cut himself off from the family. Not long after that, my mother died and he simply ran away. He went to my grandfather and they had a huge argument, and as young as I was, left me behind.
I'm sure that there was a reason for that. I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him.
right.
If that's true, I need to thank him. I need to thank him for leaving me. Because I like to take pride in the work I do. I'll take pride in the family name. So every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I had gone with him, I would never had a chance to become a detective.
I was above Kyoko on the ladder, so I wasn't able to see her expression, so I couldn't tell. I couldn't see how she looked when she said that, what she might have been feeling. All I could tell was that compared to her usual self, she was more talkative and more emotional.
I don't blame him, you know. He had his own life to live. That's what anyone is in my position might say, right? But that's not true.
However,
There is one thing. One thing I can never forgive.
Really?
so,
The way everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind. Like I said, I think it's a good thing.
however,
But when the rest of my family looked at me, they saw something different. They only saw a little girl that was abandoned by her father. That's how they see me even to this day. His shadow has been following me my entire life, and I'm sick of it. I need him out of my life, and I need to step out of his shadow.
correct.
That's why I have to find him and tell him we're no longer family
I don't think you need to tell him that, but okay.
in order to settle the past.
Okay.
In order to remove him from my life forever. I have no doubt he forgot about me years ago.
But your family, to just cut ties, to just cut him out like that.
Wrong.
Only our connection is through blood, nothing more. Are we connected by heart and soul? No.
Hey,
Is blood really enough to call someone family? That is true.
Only connected by blood, not by heart or soul. I was so shocked to hear her say something like that, I didn't know how to respond. So instead, I said nothing. Are we up here yet? I just kept climbing the ladder in complete silence, and after I don't know how long, we finally reached the top. Looks like this is it.
indeed.
The other side of this door, Hope's Peak is waiting for us.
We're back.
That's right.
Remember the hatch in the ground near the trash room? I'm fairly certain that's where it will come out. I unlocked it earlier, so it shouldn't open. It should open without much trouble.
Smart. Well, here goes nothing. I reach my right hand up and push against the hatch. The hatch opened with ease, and so... I don't like being in this spot. Looks like we're back.
Whew.
But I can't believe how long that ladder was. I'm exhausted.
I can't exactly say we're safe and sound, but at least we're out of there. Now we're back in Hope's Peak Academy. Kyoko, thank you. I would have never gotten out of there without you.
No thanks necessary. I'm just returning the favor.
This is how we got out of the garbage pit. I never would have imagined that's where this led. What? No, not this one. This is the trash room, the dump, in other words. But to be honest, I don't think I've seen anyone throw anything away down here. Okay, no, Kyoko, please. So, now what do we do? I'm glad I didn't die, of course, but if the mastermind finds out... Are there not cameras here? Like... And I'm worried about you, too. You helped me, so they might...
Listen.
You're worried?
Yeah, of course.
So then,
Then let's just get a concrete answer.
Huh?
in other words,
Let's ask Monaco if there's a problem with you escaping.
Wait, that's...
however,
If we try to hide, it's only a matter of time until we find out. It's not like we can run away.
As she said that, she pointed at the nearby surveillance camera. So you're saying rather than stressing out over getting caught, we should just give up now?
Don't worry. Don't worry. What you think is going to happen isn't.
because
Because the mastermind's the one that's ensnared.
The mastermind is ensnared. You said something like that before. What does it mean?
so
Still exposed during the investigation into Mukuro's death. There was a moment that the mastermind let their guard down.
There was?
right.
If we can talk to Monaco, Octum, and Nakuma, we can confirm it. It'll be better for us if we go to him directly before he tracks us down. That should help with our negotiation.
I'm still a little, super uneasy about this. But we don't really have a choice, do we?
Indeed.
Monokuma should be in the gym.
Shall we go?
Let's get going.
The gym it is.
Well now.
That's the wrong lines, Monokuma. Hey. Kyoko, I don't mind so much. But Makoto's supposed to be dead. What is he doing here?
That's exactly how I thought he'd react. Are we really gonna be okay?
You're supposed to be punished. Did Kyoko help you out?
What?
So what if I did? What will you do? It's a guilty party to expose during the trial. They alone will be executed. That's unfortunate, but that is the rules. So now you gotta I gotta punish you again, and this time it won't leave anything to chance.
Kyoko?
Right.
Do you feel like you have to? Do you
What?
do whatever you feel like you have to?
However,
But before you do, let me just say one thing.
now,
If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that it matters to you, right? I lose. Explain yourself. What do you mean by that?
because
Well, you set up the last trial yourself, right? I was getting in the way, so you wanted to execute. You wanted to execute to kill me. You wanted an excuse to kill me. I am talking
Another
forever. I was supposed to be chosen to be as the Black End and then executed, right? Hey, what are you talking about?
however,
But then when Makoto chose to overlook my lie, your plan came crashing down. The results of the trial weren't at all what you were expecting. Because you never imagined that the position one person would protect another like that.
right.
And in response to that unexpected development,
Indeed.
you reacted by proclaiming Makoto the Black End and trying to execute him. You made a choice of desperation, no more than that. You must have realized that Makoto would refuse to be manipulated and was a threat to you as well.
However,
But then there's another unexpected development waiting for you. An entity that would throw a wrench to speak in such a precious executionary machine.
Alter ego.
You never imagined the possibility of being that it could come to our aid even after you killed it.
am I wrong?
Now here's an absolute truth. Makoto didn't kill Mukuro, you did.
Listen to me.
So executing Makoto for it would surely be a violation of your rules, which I would know you love so much. If the Black Mars explode, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right? And that means I lose? You talk a big game and you're saying the Black End is me and not Makoto?
Well?
And you can prove this, right?
Well,
No, I can't.
Just say it like that.
What is this, a comedy routine? To make such a bold claims without a shred of evidence?
that doesn't matter.
I don't have any right now. With a little more time, I can guarantee I'll find some.
That's right.
Because no matter how deeply you try to bury it, there is only ever one absolute truth. Now that you're talking like you're some kind of famous detective type.
Because
If Makoto really was the kid, he would never have come to you willingly like this. He would have feared for his life, if feared another execution, he would try to run and hide. He would have been gripped by despair you love so much. He loves to inspire.
however,
But here, we are confronting you and there's nothing but hope in our hearts.
what the heck?
And what is that supposed to be? Is it supposed to be enough to convince me in the absence of evidence?
Indeed.
It's not you I'm trying to convince.
Hey,
If you were to execute Makoto right now, everyone out there watching this would be extremely displeased.
Huh?
indeed.
Imagine what everyone out there would think if you killed Makoto. They assume that you killed him because that's exactly what we said because what we said is exactly right.
Listen to me.
Despair can never kill hope.
Hey,
Of course, you can say we're just making this all up. You're welcome to prove us wrong. No, you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you kill Makoto without proving your own innocence, you'll be accepting your own defeat. Damn.
Okay. Okay.
If you want despair fair and square,
That's what we have to do.
then I suggest you taking my advice. So, what is this advice of yours?
It's true.
To do Mukuro's trial over again. Only this time, you follow school regulations to ensure a fair trial.
It's time for one last showdown. One
Final battle?
between hope
Okay.
and despair.
Oh, she got you. She got you.
Why'd you say it with such a delay? Well, that would make for a proper climax, wouldn't you say?
A fair trial? One last showdown? In other words, this would be our chance to expose the true identity of Mukuro's killer, of the mastermind themselves. But what reason would the mastermind have to accept the challenge? They'll probably just execute me without another word.
Interesting.
Barrett!
Interesting indeed.
Barry?
What's wrong?
Oh, I was getting bored, so I decided to change up things. So time for bear jokes. Now, what you've suggested might be plausible. Possible. It would certainly make for one honey of a climax.
In other words,
Does that mean you accept it?
You guys!
If you do things your way, that would be enough to convince you and the viewers, right? And it would cause you unbearable despair, right? Then I'm prepared to agree to your terms.
Huh?
Will hope win out? Or will my despair claim victory?
Monokuma, shut up!
I can barely contain myself!
Ah.
Let's have one grisly showdown.
He agreed? Then we still have a shot at this.
Barrett!
But this long-awaited climax, right? Just guessing the killer is barely a fitting end.
You guys!
So this final face-off, you'll have to unearth all the mysteries that have been buried here.
All of the mysteries?
That's right, every last mystery that's plotting around the school. If you can do that,
I can barely contain
then that'll be enough to
myself.
qualify as a victory for you.
it's true.
That's what we've been trying to do all along. Then let's bear it all. If you can claw your way to the truth of Mukuro's death and solve the school's mystery,
You guys!
then you win. But if you can't do that at all, we'll all face execution, right? I can barely contain my excitement. When you learn the whole truth, what kind of despair will you show me? We're as excited as you are, I'm sure.
Listen to me.
We'll uncover every last truth. How will the ultimate despair reveal their own despair?
I honestly can't believe how this all turned out.
Hey,
Before we get started, I want to clarify one more thing. Do you remember the rule? When one student kills another, that's when the class trial is held.
What's wrong?
I remember that for sure, so what?
hey,
I just want to confirm that is what you said, right? That is a true statement? You don't have to be suspicious. I've said that before and it bears repeating. Everything is based on the school regulations. And a trial for Mukuro is no exception for that.
Huh? Mukuro's trial is no exception? Then, it's part of the regulations. Which would have to mean that whoever killed Mukuro...
It's a very polarizing approach, I know, but okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's the hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but the killing game was beginning with 16 participants. All of them were high school students. And only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students.
What?
listen.
Are you telling the truth?
Why do you go quiet all of a sudden?
Now
I'm done talking. I got nothing left to say to you. So get lost, would you?
Why so mad?
He's fuming.
Malding.
He's melting. He seems emotionally unstable. Leave me alone. Get out of here.
Okay, I'm going. You're really gonna let me go?
I don't care anymore. You're all gonna get your punishment later anyway. I need to start getting ready. A super duper extra special one, overplaying with despair.
Hey,
Come on, Makoto, let's go.
Okay. Monokuma's unstable laughter seemed to cling to us as we walked away, and just like that, we were out of the gym. I could hardly believe it, but somehow I ended up not getting executed. I still had my life, and we still had a chance. Overall, things turned out way better than expected. Once again, I was in Kyoko's debt. Kyoko, thank you. Everything I have right now is because of you.
however,
Don't think that the real battle is ahead of us.
Yeah, true.
I'm still glad it worked out. I wasn't sure if anyone would accept my proposal.
But honestly, why would the mastermind agree to that? I mean, they don't stand to gain anything from a final showdown, do they?
so
They had no choice but to accept.
Huh?
because
It's all because of that one woman that the mastermind let their guard down, like I said.
So when was it that the mastermind let their guard down?
so
I wasn't here. I wasn't there to hear it myself, but do you remember what the mastermind said? They said they had hijacked the airwaves of the broadcast of the school, of our school life, to the outside world, right?
Yeah, they definitely said that.
listen,
And what do you think when you heard that? Pretty hard to believe, right?
Well, I mean, the idea of actually taking over the airwaves seems so unbelievable.
indeed.
You don't exactly read about something like that very often. It's hard to imagine. In other words, that kind of thing is extremely difficult to pull off.
However,
And yet, somehow, the mastermind was able to do it.
in other words,
Think of it another way. There must have been some kind of reason they had to do something that difficult.
A reason?
so
They had to show the world something, no matter the cost. No matter the cost, us killing each other.
They wanted to show the world?
it would seem
The mastermind was very adamant about not killing us directly, but forcing us to kill each other. And their rules and regulations were designed to encourage that.
Yeah, that makes sense. If those stupid regulations didn't exist, nobody would have killed anybody.
in other words,
So the mastermind's ultimate goal was to make us kill each other, show that to the world,
But why?
correct.
to prove a point, most likely.
Prove a point?
Hey,
The outside world has a name for students who speak a certain concept,
You're talking about hope, right?
that's right.
and for those of us who represent to kill each other, let us sink into despair. The mastermind wants the world to see that and try to prove despair is better than hope. And their goal, as the ultimate despair,
What?
they want
want
to prove the world.
No, that's me.
Oh shit! No man, I've been so fucking out of it about how much I've been speaking, man.
They want to prove that despair is better than hope, but that's ridiculous.
It's true.
You're right. It is ridiculous, completely irrational. It's the kind of thing that nobody but those who call themselves the ultimate despair would devise. The group would purposely and only purpose motivation comes from despair.
But is that really their only reason for making the rest of us suffer?
Makoto.
I know how angry it makes you, and yet it's the same movement that what led to the mastermind revealing their weakness.
What?
In other words,
Because the goal is to broadcast the killing game to the world. The mastermind has had to be more particular than is reasonable for their own regulation. If the mastermind simply ignored their rules, this would have been a game, but a one-sided slaughter.
at the very least,
Those who are watching would have seen it.
And that's why the mastermind couldn't kill any of us themselves.
indeed.
That's precisely the reason. No matter how much they hate what I'm doing, I haven't violated a single one of their regulations. Junko broke the rules, so she was punished, but in my case, they couldn't lay a finger on me.
Right.
So instead, they tried to use the class strike following the proper rules to get me killed. They began a trial that didn't have the right answer, and they made it out to be killer.
But even that didn't work.
It's true.
Yes, thanks to you. Due to the fail, the mastermind took another risk. They attempted to kill you instead of who also was not the killer.
And when that fact was exposed on live TV to the entire world outside, the mastermind had to accept your suggestion?
Indeed.
To prove the world that despair is better than hope, and they have to defeat us in perfect form.
In other words,
It'd only do the mastermind harm to have shown that they violated their own regulation.
But all that was just a hunch, right? And you were still able to get the mastermind to accept your challenge.
however,
It's all thanks to you that got that chance. Because you believed in me and another path opened up.
Still, I can't believe how much of the mastermind's thoughts and plans you were able to figure out. I didn't have the slightest clue.
wrong.
No shit, dude. You're the dumbest protagonist I've ever seen. In the end, it was just... Even in the end, though, I couldn't prove it. I can't prove any of it. It was just my own reasoning. Essentially, I was making a bet.
Whew.
So it looks like I got it right this time. At least, I won the bet.
She let out a quick sigh. I took it as a small sign of relief.
To be honest, I haven't been that nervous in a long time.
I totally couldn't tell you were nervous at all. You seemed totally confident from the moment we decided to go talk to him.
While presenting a strong demeanor is the fundamental part of negotiation and persuasion, wouldn't you say? Plus, if I'd shown my uneasiness, it would have just made it easier for you to make it. Made it easy for you. What the fuck that would have just made you that much more uneasy.
Yeah, you're probably right. How pathetic.
However,
Anyway, we can't just relax yet. We've done is earn another chance to fight. We have to win this time,
correct.
or everything we've gone through will have been for nothing.
You're right. If we can't defeat the mastermind, it'll cost us our lives. There's no option except to win.
Hey,
before we get this final battle, we have to tell the other what's going on, and that will continue next time on Astral Revengers.
We will see you guys next time.